Hey y'all, what is going on? Y'all know where we at. We in the car. Hope everybody's doing okay. I wanted to talk to you all about something, but before I do that, I got y'all something. Yes, we're gonna share, so don't worry. Hopefully y'all like it, because I don't really know. I'm trying to learn the things that you might want to eat when I go eat. But I did order y'all something. We got Jersey Mike's. It's a little bit of a glare. It's a huge glare. Let me see. Can y'all see that? How can I do this? Let me put the camera down. Let me see. This glare is hating. Hold on. Bam. I ordered it up close. But we got Jersey Mike's sub in the tub. I got us the Italian version. So we have some salami, some turkey, some ham. I didn't get pepperoni, okay? So I hope y'all don't be mad at me. We got some vinaigrette, some chipotle mayo, some salt, some pepper, some pepperoncinis. Shout out to my cousin, Delila and Tanisha, that low-key put me on to pepperoncinis. Who knew? It's a thing. So we gonna mix this up while we talk. Y'all know how it go. I don't like it in my car, but it is what it is. Excuse the ruffle of the bag. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Wait a minute. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We're gonna get a little mix, a little razzle dazzle. Get a little mix. Okay. I'm gonna give y'all something. Hold on. Yes, I sanitize my hands. Even though I don't really have to touch it, but still. So I want to talk to you guys. Just want to throw something out there really quick. And I'm gonna have to get out of here. Hold on a second. Let me get this open. Oh, y'all want to open it? Y'all open this for me. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sweeties. Thank you to my gentleman too, if you helped me open this. Here we go. Bow. We in there. Okay. Get my napkins ready. Y'all already know how we say it. I already say this in advance. If I'm chewing and whatever, it is what it is. Go with it, because I'm eating on this video. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something. This is what it looks like when you mix it up. It didn't give it the mix that I'm looking for. And low-key, y'all, I be doing the most. I asked them to chop up the meat much different. And I had asked them to chop up the tomatoes. Oh, it's tomatoes on here too. But I didn't ask them to chop up the onion. I'm not a big onion person, which is crazy because I actually like onions. I just don't like the way they make your breath smell. So I just be opting out. But anyways, we in here and we getting ready to eat. But let me give y'all some first, because sharing means caring. Okay, y'all want some? Oh, also I got y'all something to drink. I got y'all a Smart Water. And I got y'all a Mountain Dew. But don't drink too much soda, because you're going to have a zit like me. Okay, here y'all go. All right, here you go. Y'all like it? Let me turn the handle that way. I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I wanted to have a conversation just to get us thinking. Get y'all thinking. Are your standards rooted in trauma? Let me encourage you, first of all. I think everybody should have a standard. Now, this video is not for you if we talking about crazy stuff. I see so many things on social media, and I'm not knocking anybody. You can think what you want, feel how you want. Totally get it. But, I'm just a firm believer in, if I'm able to articulate my standards or a standard that I may have, one thing is, and of course I'm only giving y'all a few things because this is a conversation that can be had for hours, right? And it all can be shaped by how you were raised, how old you are, past experiences, culturally, environmentally, socially, right? But me, if I articulate a standard or standards that I have, me personally, I ask myself, can I do, not exactly, but can I do what I'm asking for? Can I uphold that as well? We're not talking about perfection, right? Can I uphold that as well, number one? And number two, am I mature enough to be open-minded that if I have to alter my standard a little bit, am I willing to do that? Hold on, I'm gonna give y'all some more. I didn't forget. Am I willing to do that? Hopefully this goes without saying. Normally I don't chew with my mouth full, but I'm doing a video, so vibe with me. Because sometimes we have to be very careful where we might be asking for something that we are not even ready to receive. Or sometimes people ask for things from a selfish place. Like, I see so many crazy things on social media. When I say crazy, I'm saying that loosely. Here, y'all get the rest. Get that part. Okay. Where I see people that's like, for an example, and this is not about anybody specific, because I don't even be looking at social media to really know like who said what. But I do see these things because I have to be in touch with the culture. My hand is on the pulse about what people are dealing with and etc. But where people will say, no, I need a man that's got to make 6 figures or more. You'll want a man to make 6 figures or more, but then you also will say in the same breath, and he got to be able to make time, quality time with me. He got to be at home. He has to be available. And the reality of it is, those both cannot coexist at the same time all the time. Now, again, we're not talking about unhealthy, immature people that make excuses like, I can't spend time with you because I'm always at work. You want that new Birkin bag, right? We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We understand it's okay to work hard. We understand that it's okay to also make time for family or your loved ones or your significant other. So we're not talking about no immature stuff like, oh, well, if he can't make 6 figures and still travel all over the world with me, we have to be mature. Because we have to understand there's a time and place for everything. We're not talking about you trying to make it work with a man that you know is purposely making excuses to not spend time with you. Because you want to keep using work as an excuse. We're not talking about that. But what I'm saying for this particular video is, ask yourself, are my standards rooted in trauma? Or here's another example that I hear people say, oh no, we're so in love with the falsehood of things. Or people say, oh no, I don't want a man that don't have no job. And I'm like, but what if he has great character? What if he has so much potential? What if he's trying to start his business? What are we talking about when we say no job? And the reason why I thought that one resonated with me, because I was like, my goodness. I remember years ago, this was years ago, Tyler was a baby, where at one point I wasn't working. I was struggling. I remember that I would go get him McDonald's, hoping that they dropped extra fries in a bag so I could eat because I didn't have enough money to feed the both of us. Or I would be joking around saying, give mommy a bite, knowing I'm hungry. And I'm like, what if somebody would have caught me at that time and would have judged me like, oh, you got a kid and you struggling. Now, granted, I had a car, I had a house, I was still paying my bills, but I wasn't even living paycheck to paycheck. I was living paycheck, didn't have nothing, waiting to the next paycheck, still didn't have nothing. So what if somebody would have met me at that time and would have prejudged my situation? And not seeing like, wow, she's really dedicated. She's strong. She's pushing through, and I actually got laid off. I wasn't even fired. My job went through a layoff. I didn't expect that. Now, what if I would have met somebody hypothetically, or even just a friend, and they would have been like, girl, you don't have no job. You got a baby. What you finna do? So sometimes we just have these unrealistic expectations and we don't take the time to get to know people. So now we have all of these things that are rooted in that's rooted in unhealthy thought processes that now is articulated through standards, and you like, hold on, where y'all go? Okay. Or I hear people say, no, I need to meet a man that already have this, already have that. And I'm like, how can you meet somebody that's already all of these and all of these categories and you're not ready made? There's so many areas in you that you working on, but you want he or she to come ready made and tailor made. Or I need him to be in touch with his emotions. And it's like, okay, I understand that. We're not talking about the immaturity of people that just, men or women that just don't care about learning how to be in touch with their emotions, that is not emotionally available, spiritually available. We're not talking about that. But some of us are dismissing things and articulating things from a broken place. Because again, if you don't understand the way the male species can work, and I'm not going to act like I understand it in and out, but I do talk to a lot of men that be low-key giving me a lot of secrets and be allowing me to peep game on the way men view things and how different it can be from women. And that actually has helped me counsel men, because I can't counsel men with only the perspective of what a woman would do. I would be doing him a disservice. I have to place myself in a position to be able to understand the way men think, how they articulate, why they use certain choice of words. Is this making sense? Because if I'm coming in there saying, well, you need just to find a way to just be there for your wife and do this and this and that. Well, I have to be able to understand what men prioritize. It's not going to be the same thing as a woman, but it doesn't mean they don't have a priority. Or if I come in and I'm counseling a couple that's engaged, and the man is expressing his nervousness about being married, I have to be able to say, I can't sit there and say, well, what you nervous about being married? You engaged. You should just be happy. You should be happy that you have somebody that's willing to love you. Wait a minute. He's not associating his fear necessarily with that individual. Maybe he's trying to articulate something deeper than that. But if I go in with the way that women, not all women, but the way that some immature women view things, I would be doing them a disservice. So therefore, I have to change my approach. I have to have a balance to my standards, to their standards, to her standards, or whatever the case may be. That's what I'm saying. This Mountain Dew is low-key borderline starting to get to room temperature, and I don't like that for me. And Jersey Mike's felt like working today, and I like that for y'all. So, I don't want to make this video all about other people and what they think. I want you to check yourself. Here's another example. You could be starting a job, and maybe the job is a startup company. Maybe they've only been in business for about a year or two, and you going in there and talking about they so unorganized, they doing this, they doing that, but they only have a handful of employees. And now instead of you being able to say, wait a minute, let me stop. Let me adjust my standard. Again, we're not talking about lowering it to the point where it's like, really? Okay, like, come on now. Let's go ahead and make sure we understand the value of who we are. We're not talking about that in this video. But don't have a standard to where it finesses you out of something. You could be like, nah, see, I'm used to see my last job. My boss was on point. They did this, they did that. But this job, they seem a little unorganized. They doing this, they doing that. Versus the Holy Ghost could be saying, wait a minute, but you don't see the bigger picture. I put you here because they're a startup and they need somebody like you. They're not trying to overwork you. You don't realize that they eventually are going to need somebody to run this region, and it's you. But you so focused on why they doing at the last minute. They never even called me back. And I get it. Those things can be frustrating. But don't play yourself because you think that your standard should look a certain way. You have to be open-minded. You have to be well-rounded. I talked about that in my previous video about being well-rounded. Because, see, the enemy will trick you out of that. He'll trick you out of a relationship that you may just need to stop, have a conversation, have healthy communication where both of you are making a certain effort, but you talking about, he gotta go. Now, if you feel like he genuinely has to go in your heart, or she genuinely has to go in your heart, that's different. And I don't even know why I keep paraphrasing this, because, but sometimes when you're talking to people, you'd be surprised how many people don't quite know how to read between the lines, and you got to kind of spell out every single thing, because a person could be like, well, I disagree. Right? But we're not talking about that in this video. So I can understand why you disagree, but this doesn't apply. So just make sure that your standards are not rooted in trauma. Even when even if God wants to bring somebody new in your space and you like, oh no, she didn't call me back. He didn't text me back. They didn't follow up. So I ain't going to be able to do it because I've been here before. Wait a minute. Maybe they're busy. That's why it's so important to check a person's fruit. That is so important. Do you not know that even when a farmer goes out to check the fruit, he's doing a detailed examination. Okay, are these tomatoes bad? Why are they bad in this area? Okay, There's more sun over here, so I might have to do a little bit more over here. Okay, these tomatoes are 200 yards out, so therefore I have to make sure the water hits all the way down there. He can't just look at one spot and say, oh, well, because these tomatoes are bad, we got to pull up this whole patch. And when your standards are rooted in trauma, and I'm saying this respectfully, you have people that saying stuff like, I need a high value man. Oh, my wife needed cook, clean, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, but if she gets into a car accident, there's no cooking and cleaning. So you so rooted in that standard. That's why we get so bored in relationships, because we have this false fairy tale. Yeah, I need my woman to sleep with me 7 days a week. And I hear people saying the craziest stuff. And I'm not saying sometimes these things don't apply, but you have to know where you're at. I'm like, if you've been in a relationship or you've been married to somebody for a while, name one person that literally sleeps with the person that they with every single day. We need more than just a physical connection. What if I fall sick? And if COVID didn't teach people anything, it should have taught you how to be well-rounded. It should have taught you togetherness. Because you know how many people got sick? And you couldn't sleep with them every day. What was you going to do? They in hospitals. Ain't no visitation. Ain't no phone calls. Because they may be on a ventilator. But then you got people that saying, let me tell you something. The number one thing that sustains a marriage is being intimate. That's not, and I understand why we can think that. But we have to also be balanced in our standard. Y'all want somebody to cook. Y'all want women to cook, clean, be intimate with you 7 days a week, twice on Thursday, and 7 times on Sunday. And you want her to go to work, take care of the kids, budget, give you this, do that, think of you, push your dreams, forget about hers. It's like, wait a minute. And that's why you're seeing a clash between man and woman. And that's the enemy. Instead of us saying, let's be realistic. We don't have to do what everybody in the world is doing. Let's talk about what we want, what we desire. Wait a minute. Did you come up with that because of your childhood? Because of what was shown? Is that even really what you want? Is that even really your standard? Or is society pushing this narrative because you want to post a picture and say, me and Bae. But then you and Bae is struggling behind the scenes. Or a lot of women, oh, I want my man to be able to do this work, and he got to meet all of my needs emotionally. He got to be able to read between the lines. He got to be able to be a magician. He got to be a mind reader. And he got to rub my feet, help me with the kids. It's like, hold on. We're all human beings. Nobody is perfect. I say this all the time. It was only 2 perfect people in the world, Jesus and Job. And even Jesus was saying stuff like, Lord, I'm paraphrasing, you really want me to die? Okay, not my will, but thy will. That was a human response. And so sometimes you could finesse yourself out of a job, out of relationships, whether it's intimate or platonic. And when I say intimate, it doesn't just mean sleeping with. That means just maybe, a significant other. You can finesse yourself out of something and walk away from something prematurely, or not even be able to engage in something because your standard. No, because I seen my mama go through this and I ain't never finna settle for that. Oh, sorry, y'all. I know. I heard you. You like, dang, you talk and share. Okay. Boom. Right? And again, it's okay to have that. But you have to be mindful. Is what you're dealing with rooted in trauma? Is your expectations rooted in trauma? Or is it from a healthy place? And again, we're all not going to be 100% perfect. I understand that. But you know what makes you get as close to perfect as possible? Your willingness to try. Your openness to try. Your ability to understand communication. And understand that communication goes beyond just words. It's nonverbal. It's verbal. It's body language. It's facial expressions. Oh, I walked in the room and what's wrong? Oh, nothing. I can pick up your energy. You sad. What's up? But it's your ability to understand. Not only do you understand your strengths and weaknesses in communication, can you articulate that with another human being? Because just like you have a standard, they're going to have one too. But can you guys come together and say, hey, friend, whoever, so-and-so, so-and-so, I know right now, we typically hold ourselves to this particular standard, but I think we should talk. Let's adjust this a little bit because you got this going on, I got this going on, but we don't know how to talk to each other. I say this so often. A lot of times when I counsel marriages or couples who are married, And was so amazing to me is the couples don't even realize how much they don't tell each other. Sometimes if I do a session with just the male, or if I do this session with just with the husband and just the wife, the wife will express something, or the husband will express something, and I'll just say something very casual. What did your wife say when you told her that? Oh, well, I didn't tell her because, I just feel like she gonna da-da-da-da. So guess what? That's suggestive that your need, or whatever it is you're feeling is going to continue not to be met because you haven't even articulated it. And we're not talking about people that just been married or dating for 2 or 3 months. We talking about these people have established relationships. And I'm like, you don't feel comfortable telling your wife or your husband da-da-da-da? No, because and I understand there's times where there's a time and place for everything. There's a time to speak and there's a time to be silent. We're not talking about that. But the biggest breach, if you will, a common denominator that I always see is they both will say they didn't tell the other person. Which is why it is so important, whether you do it early on or if you've forgotten to do it, you can work on it now. Creating a safe space. But a lot of people don't know how to create a safe space because they're afraid. If I tell you the truth about who I am, if I tell you the truth about what I feel, you're going to leave me or you're going to get angry with me. And that's the trick of the enemy. And that's when we start getting into this false reality. Even the things that is most hurtful, you can build from that. You can share it. Because again, it doesn't mean it's going to eliminate the hurt. But wouldn't you rather have a healthy relationship that's authentic than a relationship that's established on a false truth? And that's with anybody. And don't get me wrong, we all go through it. We go through it as parents. I know my son ain't going to tell me everything, but I definitely encourage him to. I know that friends don't tell everybody everything. I know we all have that. I'm going to take this to my grave. I get it. I understand. I'm not being unrealistic. What I am saying is, in terms of standards, make sure they're not rooted in trauma. Make sure you're willing to communicate that as much as you can. And communicate whatever that may be. But sometimes you don't want to get to a place where, now this, y'all see how the lettuce is a little wilted because they put a lot of vinaigrette in it. So, but I'm loving it. And again, I try to give you guys things not to create something that's unrealistic, but to just keep putting us in a position to grow, to chase after growth. Sometimes we have to step back and be like, you know what? I don't even want you to use words like my standards are too high, but I just want you to understand, where does this come from? Why are you asking people of this? Is this realistic based on the individual, based on the circumstance, based on where you are? And here's another thing. You can have a standard and somebody can meet the standard, but if you are not all the way whole, if you will, you won't be able to receive it. Somebody could say, oh, I want somebody that's going to do this. Or you may look at things like, man, I wish I could be married to an NBA player where I could just sit at home all day and go shopping. You say that until you live in it. Because that means he's not there. That means there's no comfort. That means your bed is lonely. And you think purses, bags, and traveling is going to fill that void? That's why we have to be careful. You want a man that's making 6, 7, and 8 figures, that's going to require some sacrifices. So you just have to know where you're at. Pardon me. Is this making sense? I'm going to get off of here. Again, I'm just bringing this to your attention to challenge yourself. And it's not just in relationships. It could be work. Sometimes you might not even realize, watch this, that your standard for yourself is low. Yeah, I ain't going to apply for that job because you know what? Man, I see on here that they say you got to have da-da-da-da. Wait a minute. But how about interview and say, hey, I may have 14 credits in this and I saw you guys needed 20. Do you guys offer da-da-da-da? Can I still possibly get the job while I'm working on it? I'm in the process of getting it. But you see yourself with no value. You see yourself low-ended. Or, yeah, I ain't going to start my business because, man, how I'm going to be able to do this and this and that. Wait a minute. What is your standard for yourself? So, therefore, you've adapted a standard of poverty because that's all you know. You saw grandmama and them struggle. You saw your mama and them struggle. So, therefore, you don't even realize you're stuck behind this barrier. And you're so afraid to break through the wall. It's like when people say, wow, you're the first person to go to college. You're the first person to graduate. You're the first person. That can be scary. See, we don't believe that even good things can be intimidating. So push yourself for greater and for better and for more. Oh, man, so-and-so been at their job longer than me. I really want to try to apply to get this promotion, but I already know they finna give it to Sam. Hold on. What is the standard for yourself? Is the standard growth, more, better? Do you see yourself as like, no, you know what? It don't matter. He been here 4 years longer than me. I've been here too. And I know the work I put in. I know what these hands can do. I know the creativity that my mind has. I know the type of hard worker I am. But the standard for yourself is so low, you won't even try. And then what the devil will do is he'll have you mad because he'll have you sitting back watching other people progress, prevail, obtain, and he'll keep you stuck in, man, it's always somebody else. It's always, but wait a minute, check your mindset. Check your standard for yourself. Do you value yourself? Is your self-esteem low? Let's fix that. I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully it made sense. Y'all already know I got a couple of appointments on the book, but if you need any type of coaching, you can email me, jennifercrawley86@gmail.com. I got some slots still open, so I'm not like overly booked or nothing like that, but I got some availability. Send me an email. I'll send you the details of what everything is, or even if you know somebody, make sure y'all share this out. Thank y'all for having lunch with me. It's not even lunchtime, low-key. I'm making me some turkey burgers later. And by the way, do not judge me. Yes, you may see that. Hold on. In the last video, didn't you just say you was at the gym? Yes. Okay. Listen, I'm not here to give y'all fitness tips or diet tips, okay? Yes. So y'all may see me on here eating some stuff, and then in the next video, you may see me talking about something. I went to the gym. That's not my journey. I go to the gym for my mental well-being, to keep my heart rate up, keep my blood pumping, to just keep myself energized. So no, don't let this sub in the sub fool you, because yes, guess what? I had fried chicken yesterday. Did. So this is not the channel for you. And don't be judging me like, girl, how you at the gym and we just saw you eat Chick-fil-A. You did. We just saw you get Popeyes. You did. I sure did. I love y'all. Y'all know what we say when we out. We'll talk soon.